think in this case, Steve Kearney is, he's at the last drink saloon.
Yes.
And he's got to really, it's probably too late this year to try and salvage anything, but, I think give him one more shot next year, and if by mid-year the results or the performances haven't improved, then he's got to go. So, unfortunately, I think the Sharks will win. But just back to that Chanel Harris defeat, I'm a big fan of his, boys. If the forwards could get some momentum for them to fight the back off tonight, then there's a chance. And, I really like the kid, and they should try and lock him in and settle him to a decent deal.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I completely agree. I think, Kearney, a lot of the supporters have been saying Kearney's got to go pretty much, really. I think, was it this year he signed a contract for a 5-year contract, Rino? Or was it last year?
Yeah. No, he's re-signed up. But I think you're going to see that something will happen with that, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. The Tigers and the Knights later on tonight there, Rino?
Yeah, I want to go Tigers, eh?
Okay, fair enough. What do you reckon there, JT?
Yeah, both these sides still a chance of making the 8, so they both need to win. Mate, I don't know. Toss a coin on that one, but I'll put my head on the block and say the Knights.
Dragons, Roosters, JT?
Oh, Roosters, mate, in a heartbeat. Easy.
What do you reckon, Rino?
Yeah, agree 100%, mate. Roosters will win that one.
Well, your Storm, obviously, they take on the Titans there, JT. Obviously, you're going for them, but it's going to be a bit of a tougher game, though?
Oh, hard to say, boys. Melbourne, after last week's loss to the Raiders at home, we wanted to re-sow the seeds of the fortress here at Amy Park. So if they don't win tomorrow, with about 2 minutes to go, look out for someone running on the field and saying, "What the hell's going on?"
We'll be watching very, very closely.
Will you have your pants on?
I'll have something on.
Actually, wasn't that you there, Māori fella that ran out there years ago?
Yeah. You see that hippie guy
Without a
from New
beard.
Zealand?
In the state of origin, in New South Wales. Yeah. Oh, Watty, I can't remember his last name, but yeah, he was a Māori boy.
Oh, it'll be crack up all right.
Who's going to win Storm Titans there, Reno?
Mate, I think it's going to be a hiding. Because the Storm be truly from last week. They were dismal in that second half, scoreless and everything. And to see the result come the way it did, I think the Titans on a hell of a loss here. I think the Storm all the way.
Raiders, Sea Eagles then, Reno?
Yeah, that's the game. God, where do you go with this?
That's going to be one hell of a game, isn't it?
Hell of a game. I'll tell you what, I'll do something different. It'll be a draw. An extra time and everything, still a draw.
Fair enough. What do you reckon there, JT?
Yeah, but I'm going to go Manly in this one. I think the Raiders have had a couple of tough games in their last two. They've played the Roosters and they've played us. And I think Manly might have the firepower to outgun them in Canberra. Okay,
well, interesting one indeed. Now, of course, we've got the women's game kicking off very, very shortly. We also had news that Honey Hidemi has put her her career, all of her career is pretty much on hold because of she'll be looking after her mum, who's terminally ill with cancer there, which is really sad to hear, isn't it, Reno?
Yeah, well, a lot of people say Whānau first, and that's where she's headed to. I caught up with Georgia Hale, who was now the captain of the women's Vodafone Women's Rugby League team, and yeah, she had a lot to say with Honey, their big buy, and what she brings to the game, her mana, her respect in amongst the team as well, and because a couple of those young girls look up to her as their idol.
Absolutely.
And they give her more respect as well, the whole franchise, to where her stance is with her mum. So you got to take your head off to this hell of a lady that's played both codes at the top end of it all, and mumsies are more important, and they acknowledge that. But yeah, the girls are built up and prepare for a season. A few younger players in there, and George is excited about it and looking forward definitely to the first home game at Mount Smart coming up. But yeah, just recognising where Honey is and giving her that space of time.
Yeah, it is good to see, in tough, I got to say, obviously Honey Hidemi will be going through tough times in the weeks to come, eh?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and the support of the club is behind her as well. And she just doesn't bring so much on the field, but it's off the field and everything she does around there. And it goes back to the grassroots over in Waikato as well. And yeah, an outstanding lady, just unbelievable. When you got a father like her who's that supportive of rugby league and any sport in general, gives so much. And you can see where Honey is right next to her mum. And she talks a lot about her parents and how they drew her into the game she loves, sport in general, whether it be rugby union or rugby league. And yeah, an amazing lady, and needs a lot more recognition, mate.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I am certainly looking forward to the upcoming women's NRL season, yourself included there, JT?
Yeah, totally. I think last season was a success, and so hopefully, we can build on that and eventually get more teams. More teams out there representing the different clubs. So yeah, definitely.
One of the good things, I think, anyway, is how the women's game certainly seems to be increasing. I mean, in my opinion, a lot of girls, and this is starting from kids at school. These young ladies who are coming through the ranks from school. And I know certainly from what I've seen here, and they're going into those games of rugby league. Is that happening over your way as well there, Rino?
Yeah, heaps, mate. In the last, 2 to 3 years, the dominance of hearing women and girls in sports, especially in these codes, have come through quite a bit, actually, in the last 36 months or so. And it's great, mate. We've spoken often, many a time, about the girls' game and the less recognition and so forth. But you hear about it now, and we talk about it quite a bit on this show now.
Yep.
And it's just good to see. And you got the young girls, and we do have that here up our way. We've just released the Thames Valley under-11s, 13s rugby team. These are the boys who don't make the weight, are too bigger than the weight. So we've got there with a competition. We're coming to Whakatane with 2 teams. We've just also launched this year the Thames Valley Māori girls team and Tāne team, the Wahine and Tāne team. So that's a new initiative, and a young team as well. So yeah, it is growing, mate, and it's good to see. I think that what's made it beneficial in our area around the Thames Valley is netball is now played on a Wednesday,
right,
prior to the adults game. So it frees up these young girls to play whatever code or any sport they want to do in the weekend. So it's been a positive for the area, and I'm excited about our Māori teams. And look, we've got a Wahine Māori Rugby League team started now.
Yep.
So everything's progressing very, very well.
What about over there in your neck of the woods there, JT? Are young girls starting to get into these physical games more so than before? What do you reckon, bro?
Yeah, totally. And I think one of the biggest ones that's happened in recent times, and I'm here in Melbourne, so it's probably even bigger down here, is the women's AFL competition.
Right.
Now, every club is represented, and it's quite fiercely, it's fiercely competitive amongst the ladies, and a couple of them wouldn't look out of place playing in a men's game. So definitely, the AFL is ahead there, and rugby league and rugby union sort of bringing up the coattails. But I think it just opens up pathways for the young girls that mightn't be into netball or hockey or more traditional, female pursuits. And some of these girls, mate, like I said, they wouldn't look out of place in a men's team. Some of those hits you see in those women's rugby league games are just off the Richter scale, and it's good to see. So it's just another branch of entertainment, another pathway for ladies that to take it further.
For sure. Anyway, we're going to go to a break. We'll be back with more Full Time right after this. On behalf of the full-timers, I would just like to say big thanks to Joachim Currid, who brings us our music intro. Check him out on joachimcurrid.com. He's also on YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Spotify, Instagram, and follow him on Facebook. Another big thanks goes out to Silent Partner, who brings us our outro. Check out their music on YouTube. And also thanks must go to the Polish Ambassador for the backing music for this promo. Check out the Polish Ambassador on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Beatport, Instagram, Twitter, and on his website, thepolishambassador.com.
You're listening to a podcast produced by Tūrangi FM, number one iwi radio station in Aotearoa. We play each full-time session on Tūrangi FM Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. You can listen in live on our Tūrangi FM media page. Just click the main Tūrangi FM logo to tune in online. Or if you're in the Gisborne area, we're on the radio frequencies 91.7, 95.7 and 98.1. Also check out the Full-Time Facebook page where you can listen to the podcast again. Make comments and click links that will lead you to other ways to listen to the podcast, such as Spreaker, iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, Podchaser and Tumblr. Right, let's get back to the Fools on Full-Time.
Welcome back to our second session here on Full-Time. I want to send another shout out, of course, going out to our sponsors, Racetrack Motors. They are down there on Grey Street. Now, before we kick into it, I want to send a big kia ora and a big, another big huge shout out going out to Ben Robb, who upset Australia's Simon Whitlock in the Whitelock in the New Zealand Darts Masters. Well done, of course. That was held in Hamilton. Which he lost. This was the person that our Kiwi boy Ben Robb lost to last year in last year's New Zealand Darts Masters. So big ups and big congratulations going out to Ben Robb. That's certainly something for the bro to know that he's in there he's gone and beaten one of the big guns, Rino?
Oh, definitely. I saw this all blow up on social media late last night, and I thought, man, just down the road there, Hamilton and Kirikiriroa, and this guy comes along, and look, he's been thereabouts for a little while, and I would guess all the whānau there would be happy to see him send Simon Whitlock home, packing 6-4 victory in Hamilton, and it's huge. He'll be celebrating it in him.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you would think you'd be doing it in the normal styles when you're playing darts in the old local.
Yes.
You'd be carry on celebrating today,
Yes.
but he can't. He's got to get back out there. So, yeah that's a massive coup. Well done.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, this is one of the biggest, the biggest darts tournament probably in New Zealand. Certainly for some, very nice looking dosh, and he's got to do it in front of a huge crowd cheering on, bro? It's a little bit different from just throwing the old dart at the pub, bro? What do you reckon?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's massive. Look, it's got massive international coverage on Sky TV and everything. And look, it's been huge up there in Auckland at the casino of years gone by. But just to have it down the road in Hamilton, it's massive. But yeah, this is cool. This is good news. And hey, he's a Māori boy out there doing what he does and throwing the darts.
Yeah.
Getting the old 180s.
Absolutely. I know. Great stuff indeed from the bro. Right, let's take a look at some of the rugby that happened. Certainly, I was able to catch the Hawke's Bay Otago game that was played down in McLean Park in Napier. Really good game from Hawke's Bay, taking that one out 29 to 21. And also, on top of that, my team, Wellington, went on to defeat Canterbury 23-22. Some good results there, Raa?
Yeah, and I saw that your team, the Lions, a good win there, Keith, especially against Canterbury. Wow, if you're a Cantabrian fan, the big question is what's happening in these early stages of your union sort of run for glory? Well, the answer is quite simple. Most of their players are in the All Blacks, so a lot of the ones fronting up for the Red and Blacks are a lot of the young up-and-coming players. So, they've got the opportunity now to try and make a name for themselves while their top 5 players are going to be preoccupied with the All Blacks in their World Cup campaign, but not a great start for them. So no doubt the coaches will be on their backs, saying, "Come on, boys, let's lift our game a bit." The fans expected because they're in unusual territory. I mean, Canterbury, they're like 99 for 1. They tend to win 99% of the time. So it's